Aswand, Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork you will not get anywhere else. Told you a week ago, I had one more mile in me. Last week on my recording this Tuesday, on a Tuesday, which I normally dub as my long run days. And the last week I did 15 and I said I had one more in me. Today I got to my 16 miles. Granted, first 4 miles I had a stomach issue. I had to stop and use the bathroom, but 16 miles is 16 miles nonetheless. And I'm very, very proud of myself for getting there. As you can tell, my ass is kicked. It was a rough one. A lot of mud. As you can see, a lot of rain. Recording this where possibly could be hit with another catastrophic hurricane. Praying for all the people who've been affected by the previous ones, Helene, and praying for all the people that are in the track of this new one, Milton. You know, you got to count your blessings. Got to count your blessings every single day. And part of what pulled me to get this 16 miles. Whew. Give me a second, guys. Pulled me to get this 16 miles was knowing that, hey, I can't take life for granted. Can't take things for granted. This life is a rough one. And you gotta stay on your toes. You gotta stay ready to go. All right. So, as mentioned, today is Tuesday. So, counting down another Top 5 Tuesday. This week's Top 5 Tuesday. My top 5 preachers. And let me just tell you what inspired this list was the fact that, you know, I went to church this past Sunday, Life Church out in Wellington, Florida. And there was a new preacher, not Pastor Craig, but a new preacher came in and he spoke a word, man. He spoke a word and he got me thinking, got me realizing, hey, preaching, being a pastor can carry many different forms. We are all called to spread the word however we feel spreading the word is. In fact, I myself remember times being called a preacher. All right, so when I got to thinking about this week's list, I got to thinking about all the people that have come into my life for a season and have spoke a word. Now, 3 out of the 5 of these people I've actually met personally. All right, 3 out of them were coaches. 1 I actually paid to be my coach at one point, and they all came in different seasons of my life, from childhood to adulthood, 35 years old. So here we go. Give me 1 second. I gotta sit down for this one. I tell you, I absolutely have nothing. All right, so first Top 5 Tuesday. Coming in first. Again, there's no chronological. The only order I'm giving this one is the chronological one. And I'll start when I was a kid. First one is Coach Bryant Davis. Bryant Davis said on multiple occasions, my favorite coach that I've ever played for. He came to the White Oak Warriors, the Brick Cheney White Oak Warriors, a year after I watched my coach pass away on the field, Coach Art. And he came in and was just speaking a word to us in so many ways. No matter what the game was, no matter what it was, he was always telling us, keep God first. No matter what you do, young man, keep God first. What's up, brother? All right, so that's Coach Bryant coming in number 1. Number 2, carried over into my first year of college. You know, now this was an interesting time. Seeing that, excuse me. All right, I'm gonna have to get up soon because I'm starting to cramp, so I need to walk it off. But seeing that I had gone through school and my first year of college, and there's all this expectation about what college ought to be, what college needs to be. All right, have a good one, man. What college needs to be, all that kind of stuff. And for me, had it not been for college football, I wouldn't have gone to college. So the school that I ended up going to my freshman year was Carson Newman College, small liberal arts college out in East Jefferson City, Tennessee. And at the time, the head coach was a man named Ken Sparks, the late Ken Sparks, who made it a point every time he had the opportunity to speak to the team, he would use the Bible, use the Word of God to connect what we were going through on the football field to what the Word of God was. All right, so that's number 2. Now comes time for adulthood. And I was lost. I was lost without football. It was time to accept the fact that I wasn't going to be good enough to play in the NFL and move on to something new. And the 2 people that I admire from this, and the only 2 people that are on this list that I haven't met in person yet, is Ray Lewis and Devon Franklin. You all know the name Ray Lewis, known as the greatest linebacker of all time. Devon Franklin, known as a man who made it out in Hollywood and did a lot of preaching outside of their work in Hollywood and in the NFL. They made a point to preach the Word of God to a young man like me. And as I was transitioning from my 20s into my 30s, I regularly tuned into their clips, regularly tuned into whatever's available about them on YouTube. And then finally, the most recent one, my guy Dre Baldwin, person I actually paid to be my coach, and I owe a lot of credit to, for helping me create the amount of content on the internet that you see about me. Because he was the one, again, former athlete, former walk-on, made it to the pros and was able to take what he learned in learning sports and apply it to business. And just how he did it, his process, all that has been like, he's been speaking a word to me ever since, happened to run into one of the clubhouse rooms he was in. All right, so recap it real quick because I'm out of it, and I'm giving you all I got. Just know why I do these after a run is so I'm giving you guys all I got, and I expect the same from you. I expect the same from whoever tunes into me regularly. Whatever it is you're going through, whatever your challenges, whatever your goals is, whatever it is you're trying to do, give it whatever it is you have, man. Give it whatever it is. Empty the tank on them, all right? So top 5 preachers that have spoken into my life. All right, Coach Bryant Davis, my Warriors coach. Coach Ken Sparks, late Coach Ken Sparks, head coach of Carson Newman. Ray Lewis and Devon Franklin. And then finally, Dre Baldwin. Main website to check out to dive deeper into all my work, 𝐷𝐿𝐒.com. That's 𝐷𝐿𝐒.com. One-stop shop for your teamwork and your self-development needs. Aswand, Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.